Hi, this is a presentation about the differences in between Massachusetts and Virginia colonies. This is a project which will compare both colonies for social studies class from Mr. Pierce's Block 8, Grade 9. Both slides show and the voiceover were made by me, Alexandra Naomi Kayanishi, Grade 9 student. This video is also a reassessment. Have you ever wanted to know the comparison in between Massachusetts and Virginia colonies? Knowing the differences, the similarities, having pictures? Okay, come and see this presentation where I will explain all of it with a slideshow that I did. Come. First things first, we will talk about the comparison in between colonies. Now, we will talk about the similarities. The first comparison is, and the first similarity in between both, is that both colonies were held by the native population in its respective regions, which meant they were housed by the native populations in resources, food, water, and also directions which later helped them survive in an unknown land. They were also founded in the first half of the 17th century, what led them to practice some form of self-government that would eventually form some of the foundations and basic foundations of American political system. And for the last similarity, we have the preserving of cultures by building sustainable colonies, which was the colonists' focus, not sheer profit, which they later on related to. They did not want to profit from the resources the land gave them. They wanted only to profit with the things they cropped and took care of. Now I'm going to talk about the differences in between each colony. They both presented two main differences, which led to branches of minor differences. The two main ones were that they had very different climates, which later led to changes in the economic system, so that the economic system could fix the problems in the climates. They also had differences in their geographic locations. Now I'm going to explain the branches of both of those big major differences. For the difference in climates, which led to changes in the economic system, Massachusetts colonies were driven by shipping and shipbuilding, which was, they were basically done and made and grew up by shipping and shipbuilding of products. Virginia, by its turn, which had a warmer weather, were based on agriculture, which was, they basically cropped everything and sold by their town and colony. In concern of the differences in geographic locations, Massachusetts was located in the modern-day New England, which was much colder and in extreme winter conditions. Virginia was located in much warmer and human-like conditions, so we can clearly see they were extreme opposites. Now for the characteristics of each colony, both Massachusetts and Virginia. We have basically 4 bullet points to discuss. For Massachusetts, it was located in modern-day New England, which was a much colder and extreme winter conditions, time and place. It was settled in 1630 by 1,000 Puritan refugees from England. It was created as a way to block Catholic influences from the Puritan religion, and its initial economy depended on shipbuilding, fishing, fur, and lumber trades. So, it was basically a small colony which was set by Puritan refugees who were escaping from England and also Catholic influences, and they had built a way of economic way of surviving through its colonizing process. On the other hand, we have Virginia, which was located in the peninsula of James River, which was a much warmer and normal condition, time and place. It was settled in 1607 by 105 people from England, including John Smith, which was the first settlement from England in the United States, even before Massachusetts, having more or less 23 years of difference. Unlikely Massachusetts, it was not created as a way to block Catholic or religious influences or from refugees. It was created as a desire of King Charles I to establish a colony in the New World. Its initial economy depended on crops, both of food and tobacco, which led to to various amount of money, but high also. It is important to remember that each colony had its own characteristics, which were very specific, and they had nothing to do with each other. I have selected in this slide pictures of both colonies. On our left side, we have pictures of Virginia colonies. The first picture in the left corner, it is the Virginia colony being made and built up. The second photo, right underneath it, is a map of the Virginia colony with a trace of the rather path they did to colonize it. The third photo, which is beside both of them, is a map of United States showing what Virginia had or not. On the right side by its turn, we have Massachusetts photos of the colonization. The first one are the people waiting and seeing the boat leave while they were colonizing new land, and beneath that we have a map of all of the colonies including Massachusetts and also describing what had inside of it. So that was it for the presentation and the voiceover. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new about what I have said for the past 6 minutes. And Mr. Pierce, this is for you. I hope you learned a bit more than all of the stuff you know and teach us in social studies class. Thank you.